How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back, and today is going to be a bit different because we're going to be taking a look at what I would like England to go with on the World Cup squad.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So, like I said, it's going to be a little bit different this show because we're going to be taking a look at the England squad for the World Cup and the 26-man squad that I would like Gareth Southgate to pick. Now, at the time this video will be released, I think the squad may well be announced. It is going to be at some point today. I'm not 100% sure when, but this, of course, like I said, is going to be my 26-man squad. Not what Gareth Southgate is going to pick. Will he go with what I go with? I very much doubt it. But we will go and get into the 26-man squad. And again, there will be debates. There will be people that agree and disagree. And as usual, you can let me know in the comments section what you think about my squad. Now, unlike usual competitions, World Cups, Euros, etc., it is now 26-man squad. It's usually 23, so it gives a little bit of leeway to a few extra players. And there will, like I said, going to be debates over this. There's so many players in the England squad that are out of form. There's injuries to contend with. And there will be debates. This is what we love about football, debates, and the fact that nobody can ever agree 100%. So with that said, let's go and get into the goalkeepers. Now, I don't think that this is actually going to be debatable. There will be debate over who starts. Gareth Southgate, for me, will pick Jordan Pickford all day long as his number one. So obviously he is in the squad. Aaron Ramsdale and of course Pope. And I think that you've got three goalkeepers there that are very, very good. Me, with my Arsenal bias, would go with Aaron Ramsdale, top of the Premier League. I think he's been excellent for the last couple of years. But again, this is about what Gareth Southgate would pick. And he will go with Jordan Pickford, who, let's be honest, hasn't really put a foot wrong in an England shirt. Questionable, performances for Everton. But for England, yeah, I don't think that that one's going to change. And I think in terms of the personnel, I think we can all agree on that in terms of those three. Now, the defenders, this is, of course, where there's going to be debate. And I've seen, ex-footballers, professionals coming out with squads and players. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, did you ever play the game? Is there any reasoning to your squads other than favouritism? There's so much imbalance to some of the squads that I've seen. They've been going with about 5 right backs, 1 left back. It's so unbalanced. It's so just not good. I look at some of the centre defenders. I'm seeing names in there like Connor Cody and Harry Maguire. Absolutely no chance. No, they don't get in my squad in any way, shape or form. I'm going to break it down in terms of positions across the defence. First of all, I'm going to go with the right-hand side. Now, from what we've heard by reports, Reece James has already been told that he will not be in the squad. His injury is too big a gamble to risk put him in there and maybe he comes back. And I kind of got to agree with it. I think that if Reece James is fit, he's in the England squad all day long. But I'm actually going to go with 3 players that can play on the right-hand side. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier. Now, Kyle Walker is also one of these players that's coming back from injuries a lot further ahead than Reece James. I don't think he will actually be available around about the group matches, but his experience and what he can bring to the team in the latter stages, I think that's why he needs to be there. Kieran Trippier been absolutely superb for Newcastle, absolutely all day long. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, now I know there will be some discussions about this. What I will say is that defensively, especially this season, Trent's been exposed badly. But in a more forward, role within the squad or team, I think he offers a lot. And I believe that he should be there and he will be there. And I will go with 3 across that line. Now, I know some people are going to sit there and go, what about Ben White? Relax. Watch the video. In terms of the centre-backs, now I'm going with 4 centre-backs. First of all, Ben White. I'm going to put him there. Now, remember, he is predominantly a centre-back. He has been playing for Arsenal as a right-back. What that does is allow 2 options. It's variation. It's, flexibility. And I think that's what he offers. John Stones takes care of itself. Eric Dyer, that one's a debatable one. But I think that when you weigh up the options of Dyer, Maguire or Connor Cody, I'll have to go with Eric Dyer. And the last one is Tomori. Now, a lot of people, especially experts, have seemed to have forgotten about Tomori and seem to not understand that there are players outside of the Premier League. This is a Serie A winner. Now, he didn't have the greatest of performance against Chelsea in the Champions League. Granted, I get that. But you don't, look at somebody over the course of one game. You look at the course of the last year or so. He has been exceptional. He has been so good. And he has to be in the squad ahead of Harry Maguire, ahead of Connor Cody all day long. Neither of those 2 get in the squad. Don't get anywhere near it. Will, Gareth Southgate go with that? Probably not. But that's what I would like to see. Those 4 as the centre-backs. I think that there's variation, variety and everything else. And that's what I would go with. Now, in terms of the left-backs, Luke Shaw nailed in to go as one of the left-backs for me all day long. It's a massive shame about Ben Chilwell and his injury because he would have gone in there as well. But I think that we need to have another left-back. And for me, I would go with Tyrick Mitchell from Crystal Palace. Now, there will be some, debates about this position as well. We're not really blessed with loads of left-backs. You could probably look at Dan Burn having a good season as well, but not for me. I would go with Tyrick Mitchell, like I said. Has played for England, made his debut against Switzerland in March, I believe it was. And he actually came on for Luke Shaw. So when I look at the defenders overall, I look at that and I say there's 3 right backs there. Trent Alexander-Arnold could be used in a more advanced position. Ben White can also come over and cover just in case there was massive injuries, etc. The centre-backs, you've got 4 in there. Ben White, Stones, Dyer, Tomori. I think that offers absolutely everything you need. And then in terms of the left-back position, you've got Shaw and Mitchell. So you've got a couple of players there. And I think that overall, defensively, that offers balance. And that is key. Balance. Players that play in their natural positions and where they're comfortable. So that's what I'm going to go with in terms of my defenders. Now, in terms of the midfield, again, there will be so many debates about this. And again, I've seen so many experts coming out with opinions and thoughts. And they are opinions and you've got to respect that. But you do sit there and question some of those opinions. Now, I'm going to go with Declan Rice, first of all day long. Absolutely no debate about it at all. Jude Bellingham, absolutely no debate at all. If we want to get off topic about Jude Bellingham, I would give absolutely anything to see him at Arsenal. I'm not saying that would ever happen, but I would give anything to see him at Arsenal. He is exceptional and exactly what Arsenal would need. But for this, obviously, yeah, it's England. Jude Bellingham all day long. Jordan Henderson, I think, gets a nod over everybody else all day long. Mason Mount as well. Kind of up and down, so far this season with Chelsea, but he's up there all day long. And then the other positions, and this, of course, is where you will see debates and you will see, people talking about certain things. And I've seen Calvin Phillips' name mentioned a hell of a lot. I can't doubt what Calvin Phillips has done for England in the past in some sense, but he's played about 11 minutes all season. I'm sorry, but no, there's players that for me are ahead of him based on form and everything else. 2 players that I would have in there all day long for me, James Maddison and James Ward-Prowse. Without fail, they would get in ahead all day long. I will go with 6 in that midfield area, and Maddison and Ward-Prowse getting it all day long. Rice, Bellingham, Henderson, Mount, Maddison, Ward-Prowse. That would be my midfield. I'm sorry, but Calvin Phillips would not get in. If Gareth Southgate wants to be true to his word when he took the England job, which is talking about form players, you know, and not reputation and everything else and previous, you know, things that they've done, then this is what he would go with. I think there's a slight exception to certain players if they were coming back from an injury and stuff like that, maybe the likes of Harry Kane. Then I think that there's no debate in that respect. But for Calvin Phillips, nah, sorry, not for me. In terms of the attackers, listen, again, there's going to be debate over this. But I think that with what I'm going with, it offers absolutely everything. And there's informed players in there as well. It's got variation, variety and all the rest of it. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, right, okay, we need 8 attackers in there, and that makes up the 26. Harry Kane, absolutely all day long. There's no questions about that in any way, shape or form. The next player, and this would be a debate, and you know, for me, it's between these two. You look at Ivan Toney, and then you look at Tammy Abraham. For me, Ivan Toney gets the nod all day long. Tammy Abraham had a brilliant season last year, but this season he struggled. He's only got 3 goals. His form is not great. Ivan Toney has had a brilliant season in the Premier League. And also, whether you agree or disagree on this, I think that Ivan Toney could be crucial for bringing off the bench for penalty shootouts. We're England, of course. Remember, penalty shootouts. He is the best penalty taker in the Premier League by an absolute mile. He could be key. He's not going to play a part in terms of starting, but I think that he could be crucial and used within certain moments. Ivan Toney for me all day long. Marcus Rashford, he's had a much better life, you know, this season at Manchester United than he has recently. And he's got the experience, and I think that he is somebody that would be involved in the England squad. Raheem Sterling, not had the greatest of times at Chelsea. Recently scored and ended a bit of a drought that he was on. But what he does for England and what he can do, it doesn't even go without question. He gets in the squad. Phil Foden, I think that's, you know, another player that you don't need to have a debate over. Bukayo Saka, again, another player you do not have to need any debate over at all. And I know some people may even go right back to the defensive areas and go, well, maybe you could have another centre back in there and just Luke Shaw on that left because Bukayo Saka could cover there. No, absolutely no chance can Bukayo Saka cover at left back. We know what happened last time. Leave him alone, let him play where he's, you know, comfortable and where he should be, and that's in an attacking sense. So Jack Grealish, look, listen, we already know that he's not hit the ground running and he's been poor in large for, you know, Manchester City and whatnot. But again, it's a player that can do things and cause problems, and I think he should go there. The last position for me goes to Callum Wilson. I think this lad deserves his spot in the England squad. He has been excellent for Newcastle. I believe he's got 6 in 8, something along them lines in his last games. He causes all kinds of problems. He's in form. Newcastle are flying, sitting 3rd in the Premier League. For me, Callum Wilson all day long gets into the England squad. I don't care what anybody says. He gets in there. There's no room for the likes of Jadon Sancho, etc. No, absolutely no chance at all. So there we go. That is my England squad, what I would take to Qatar for the World Cup. It's a 26-man squad. It's Pickford, Ramsdale and Pope as your goalkeepers. Trent, Walker, Trippier, White, Stones, Dyer, Tomori, Shaw and Tyrick Mitchell as your defenders. Rice, Bellingham, Henderson, Mount, Maddison and Ward-Prowse as your midfielders, and Kane, Toney, Rashford, Sterling, Foden, Saka, Grealish and Wilson as your strikers. So there we go. Will Gareth Southgate go with this? At the time of release, the squad may well be out, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere near this, but this is a video about what I would like to do. And of course, you will all have your own thoughts and opinions, and I would love to know what they are. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Are you happy with that England squad? Would you go with that England squad? If not, what would you go with? So there we go. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.